The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go 3 wide, no one's with them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14, it's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Welcome race fans to Primetime Racing TV and tonight's coverage of the Hardline Racing League. We are in the Midwest POWERSOURCE Cup Series tonight from a little bit different of a track for the Cup cars. We're going to be racing in the Iowa Speedway tonight for 133 laps worth of action. Bringing you the calls here tonight is myself, Corey Silva. I'm also behind the cameras, and I got Evan Black in the booth with me as well. Evan, we are in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup cars, and we're at a track that we usually don't see these Monster Energy Cup cars at, so what can we expect with these high horsepower machines here at Iowa?
Yeah, usually these Cup cars don't come here, but it's a very fun track, very good racing, very multi-groove racing. There's a lot of different lanes that you can run, and should be a fun race. These drivers are really going to have to watch out for wheel spin with how much horsepower these Cup cars have compared to the Xfinity or trucks, which we usually run here.
Yep, so qualifying is finishing up here. Group qualifying at the Iowa Speedway as these guys do their best to get these last second times and try to better themselves. And looks like Joshua Adams in the 88 is top of the boards thus far, but Briar LaPrade only 2 100ths behind him. So seeing if he can get out here and turn a couple of laps, and a couple of new drivers in the field here tonight. So we'll see how these drivers do versus the competition.
Just about 1:15 left in qualifying.
Yep, so again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in here to PTR TV for tonight's race for the Hardline Racing League. Going to be every Friday night here until about the middle of August. You will see this championship conclude here at I believe it is the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but right now Thomas Baresi is your points leader after the last race at Indianapolis. He is up. Actually, Evan, there is a tie at the top of the standings right now. Baresi and Tarian completely locked up. Josh Adams 12 back in third.
Yeah, but the bad news right now for Baresi is he is back in the 11th position, so we'll see if he can work his way up through the field in this 133 lap race.
Yep, where it is a short track. It is 7/8 of a mile here, so it's not quite a bull ring, but it is definitely a track short enough that you're going to really have to watch out for getting into contact. Guys maybe dooring you up the track, or the good old bump and run. All of that can happen here at Iowa. So it does look like qualifying is in its waning stages here as drivers turning their last laps to see if they can get even better onto the scoreboard. Now we have the 38 of Shane Tarian. He is in second. He is on a final lap, and that lap will not do very well. He got totally sideways there in 3. How about Bronson Stafford? I don't know if this lap, oh, that most certainly is not going to count. Yeah,
he's smoking a little bit there.
Yeah, Robert Kenny completes his lap. Does not look like anybody is going to improve their times. So these drivers will get themselves assembled onto the starting grid here at the Iowa Speedway, and we will bring to you the PTR TV starting lineup here for the Hardline Racing Midwest Power Source Cup Series. On the pole here tonight with his lap time of 21.748 is Joshua Adams, so congratulations to him. Shane Tarian outside of the front row. In row number 2, Tyler Hensley with Brian LaPrade. Row number 3, Bradley Burke and Alex Weaver. And then we have Nick Massey and Bronson Stafford, 7th and 8th, Evan.
And we have Matthew Bell rolling off in 9th, Robert Kinney to his outside. Thomas Baresi back in 11th, Simon Thorns in 12th, Dylan Pileski in 13th, Cody Tabor in 14th, Chuck Sweeting 15th, and Casey Schubert at the field in 16th.
Yep, so that is your grid here tonight. 16 machines will take the grid here at the Iowa Speedway. Weather conditions here tonight in the Iowa Speedway, 67 degrees in the air and on the track with about an 8-mile-an-hour wind from the northwest, so probably a little bit more grip on the table for these guys. Obviously at night we expect that, but I think there may be a little bit more even than we may have expected here, so that will be what is the case here today. Iowa Speedway progressively banked track. Evan, you're going to be quite surprised when I say this. I'm not exactly sure how much banking here is. I think it's between about 12 and 15 degrees, but the biggest factor here at Iowa, Evan, is the bumps, especially on the inside of 1 and 2.
Or even more so at the top of 1 and 2. You really do not want to run up there in the 3rd or 4th lane because it is super bumpy up there.
And especially with these cup cars, I'd almost wonder, Evan, if we may be able to see the groove move up a little bit more in these turns just because of the horsepower. We might get that track heated up a little bit more than the trucks or the Xfinity machines would do, and it may help widen out the racing even further.
Yeah, I think the groove is really going to move around in this race. In 3 and 4, it seems like it already has, where they're up running close to the wall in 3 and 4, so we'll see if they can move it up in 1 and 2.
Yeah, we'll see if that is the case. This is going to be a learning experience for just about everybody, including us here tonight, seeing these cup cars and what they can do here at Iowa. It is also going to be a learning experience here in the production trailer. Obviously, iRacing having their new build and a significant graphical update on Tuesday with a whole bunch of new goodies graphically and lighting effects and debris effects. So we're going to be learning how that works here on the stream. So if there's any kind of stuttering or anything, please let me know in chat, folks, because it's going to be learning here on the technical side. Hope it does look well for you. But one more pace lap here around Iowa, and we are going to be racing.
So the stage is going to be on lap 50, and what do you think about fuel, Corey? Probably 60 laps or something?
Yeah, with the 75% fuel load, I would say about 60 laps will probably do it, but I don't really expect that to be a situation. So you said lap 60, pretty much going to cut this race in half, a little bit on the shorter end of that. So I don't expect any pit stops until that point, but we come through 3 and 4. 88 of Joshua Adams with the dominant driver of the season, Shane Tarian, to the outside of the front row. Get a snack, get them those belts buckled tight, get ready for some exciting action here tonight. Pace car is in, and on the loud pedal, we are waiting for it. There he is. We're racing here in Iowa.
And Adams is going to clear in that 30 of Tarian for the lead, trying to bring Tyler Hensley with him down into turn 1 and 2. Looks like Hensley down at the bottom should clear out of 2. Yes, he will, just barely over Tarian. Tarian may get the run. He will.
They were 3 wide for a little bit in the back of the pack there with the 95 of Bell and the 10 of Kenny, but that has ceased out. Adams out to a huge lead, but they are 2 by 2 from second on back.
Yeah, still side by side for second. Hensley still on the bottom. We'll see here through 1 and 2 if Tarian or Hensley, one of them can clear. And down the backstretch, it looks like it's going to be Tarian.
Yep, Tarian on that outside groove, which we do expect to be a little more dominant here tonight with that banking up there. These Cup cars will need every bit of help they can get. So here comes Brian LaPrade to the inside of Tyler Hensley. That is for the 3rd spot. He will dive down in there. Looks like he will clear. I don't know if the 46 will be able to get a runner on the outside. He will stand me corrected, and he will do just that.
Hensley still not going to be able to clear down into turn 3. Now he does. Will he be able to hang on to an out of 4? Yes, he will. So the 46 going to hold on to third 4 now.
Yes, he will. So that's going to even show further that inside lane is going to be at a detriment here tonight. Here comes Brian LaPrade. Looks like the 61 of Bronson Stafford may be getting into the action there, trying to get by him. Everyone going to the top of the speedway early in the race.
Robert Kenny and Matthew Bell side by side back in the 8th position. Looks like Kenny going to try and take that spot down into turn 1.
Yep, Kenny to the inside, but 95 using that outer lane, Evan, in 1 and 2. We talked about it as the 95 having a little bit of internet issues there, but we talked about the outside. You said how bumpy it is up there, especially in 1 and 2, but still seems to be the preferred way around the racetrack.
Yeah, Bell should clear down the front stretch. Not quite going to be able to contact there. Matthew Bell going into the wall, as well as the 10.
He'll use the wall to save it there, but let's go back on replay. He dove it on in there. I believe it was the 10 of Kenny. We'll go check a replay of that. They're coming off a 4 here on the replay. 95 of Bell to his outside. And that 10, Evan, he just dove it on in there. I don't know if he missed his braking point or if there was something else on his mind, but he sailed it on in there, but we stay green.
Got a battle starting to shape up for third. Still Hensley and LaPrade going at it. Pratt lost some ground there through 3 and 4. We'll see if he can get it back here through 1 and 2.
Yep, so here he comes to the outside is LaPrade. Trying to get the momentum there from the outside and use that overspeed down the back straightaway. Didn't quite happen yet. He's going to fall right in the tire tracks of Hensley again, trying to just maybe have him make a mistake at this point. I mean, it seems like it may be hard to pass with the top being so dominant.
See, Hensley, as soon as you say about the top being dominant, Hensley goes down there, and then LaPrade going from the top to the bottom on exit. Got a huge run down the back, going down into turn 3 now. LaPrade trying to take a look underneath Hensley, not going to be able to get there. Out of 4 down the front stretch. They're still going to be single file.
Yep, so he's just trying to figure out what to do. He's trying to get a little bit higher of an arc on the entry of the corners, maybe use that to his benefit down the straightaways. Doesn't seem to be working too well as 61 is blinking as if he's a Christmas tree right now, so that's going to make it very hard, especially for Nick Massey, to navigate around him. Remember, Nick Massey is last week's winner at Indianapolis in that wild finish that we had. Bradley Burke, he is right behind Massey. He's someone that we have not seen in this league, and maybe we have at some point or another, but not recently. So good to see some new drivers into the league. But up front, Joshua Adams definitely is out and ready to pounce here tonight at Iowa. We'll bring up the battle tracker and see what the difference is. He was actually a little bit slower last time by than Tarian, by about half a tenth. We'll see what it is as they cross the stripe this time by. A 51 for Adams to a 54, so pretty much exchanging laps. He got him by a couple hundredths.
Looks like Adams is running quite a bit lower through 1 and 2. He's right on that yellow line, and Tarian is a little bit higher. And it seems like they're pretty much just exchanging lap times like you said, Corey.
Yeah, just maybe just waiting for the tire wear as they are side by side again behind them. Well, they were side by side. LaPrade was, he had a look there underneath him in turn number 4, but wasn't able to sustain it. Here we do have a battle right behind this. The blinking driver of Bronson Stafford to the outside. Massey's going to power it to the inside. Really has no stable idea of where that 61 is with his connection problems, which is going to make his situation harder. But here comes Bradley Burke in the 15 to fill the gap in up top, and he'll pass Massey throughout that process.
So now Burke through to 6th, and he's going to have to try and get by that blinking 61 now. So we'll see if he can do that.
Now, Evan, what is your mindset right now? You are Bradley Burke. You just gained a position. You're Nick Massey even. What is your mindset trying to get by a driver that has the issues that Bradley Burke has right now?
You mean that Stafford has?
Oh, yes.
The blink issues?
Yes, correct, yes.
It is very hard to race around a driver that... because you're going to race a little bit easier around them because you don't know where they are and you don't want to tear your car up racing around them, so it's really tough racing around them. You just have to be a lot more careful.
Just hope that opportunity happens where when you have the run, that may be an opportunity where their connection maybe settles in a little bit and gives you that opportunity to make that clean pass. But here comes Burke running that upper lane in 3 and 4. Much of a surprise to me that these guys are, well, some of them running the bottom in 3 and 4. I didn't expect that at all, but it didn't really give the 15 too much of an edge. We come through 1 and 2. 61 starting to blink heavily again, but we'll see what happens here in 3 and 4.
3 and 4 blinking once again is that 61, but the 15 running right up against that wall in 3 and 4, and then chopping down to kind of the middle lane on exit, trying to get that run out of the corner.
That does surprise me, Evan. I really didn't expect. I know it is usually an approach that a lot of drivers use, but I didn't think that we'd see these drivers cutting so low as, oh my goodness, that 61. I didn't think they'd be cutting so low on exit off of 4. I thought they'd really ride it up higher and stay against the wall the whole time.
Yeah, usually they don't cut that low. In 1 and 2, you usually want to kind of run the middle and then cut to the bottom, as now they're side by side for the 5th position. Burke on the inside of Stafford.
Oh,
see Burke going to slide up the hill. That's going to allow Massey to get by Burke, probably.
Nearly some
nope,
contact
Massey's going to back off.
We'll look a little bit further back as just trying to avoid this blinking situation right now. 11 of Alex Weaver under fire from Thomas Bresci, who
just kind of the wall of it there.
Yeah, Bresci, who is tied up at the top of the standings and just did not have a good qualifying run here at Iowa and hasn't really made too much progress 21 laps into this race.
He's up to 9th, so he got by a few cars. So they're still trying to get by that 61 up there, but he is blinking pretty bad now.
But he is right behind Alex Weaver in the 11 machine, trying to find a way by. Look how high Weaver is there through 1 and 2, all the way in the 3rd groove. That is not going to work. That'll open the door for Bresci to be able to clear, and Weaver will back off entirely and let him go.
Yeah, Weaver got up in those bumps in 1 and 2, and that is a very tricky place to run up there at the top of 1 and 2.
Yeah, it is just too bumpy up there and just not the quick way around the racetrack, and just going back up front, seeing what's going on up there, and, well, the answer is not very much, as out by about 1 1/4 seconds right now is Joshua Adams over Shane Tarian, who, Tarian, he gains time throughout the center of the turns. I think he may be driving it in a lot deeper, but the 88 of Adams getting that runoff corner exit down the straightaways, and looks like Tyler Hensley trying to close in here on the 38.
Yeah, Hensley has now kind of started to pull away from LaPrade a little bit. Now we're going to try and get by that 38 of Tarian. Got it down to a little under 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, but once you get there, obviously getting there is one thing, passing them is another, so we know Tyler Hensley is not afraid to make moves, not afraid to err on the aggressive side, so we'll see what he does do when he gets there, which is right now. He is there. He has closed in on Tarian.
Lost a little bit of ground out of 4, but he is still there. About 0.2 of a second gap now between Terrian as he's really slow through the center of the corner. That 46 really gained on him there.
Yes, he did, and he's just really at this point trying to find which way around the racetrack is going to most benefit him and trying to get by. Takes it to the bottom there in 3 and 4 and washed up pretty high on exit, but nothing doing, at least on this coming lap.
Side by side with Dylan Pileski and Chuck Sweeting back in the 10th and 11th position. Sweeting getting by Pileski now, and Pileski gonna try and do the crossover. No, he's gonna back off and just let Sweeting have it.
That 26 of Sweeting will gain that position. A very methodical driver is that number 26 of Chuck Sweeting. Usually doesn't really qualify too great, doesn't really make too much noise early in the race, but a driver that you always got to focus on and see where he will be at the end of the races.
Hensley took a look underneath Terrian for that second position. Now taking another look through 1 and 2, and Hensley is going to clear him easily through 1 and 2.
Yes, he will. So move the 46 up to P2. Now a 1.5 second gap in between him and Adams, and once they kind of get settled out, we'll see which of these two drivers is the one to hold the crown to the fastest lap. Let's see what it is. Hensley had a little bit of interference last time by with his pass of Terrian, but this is a lap in clean air, so we'll pull up the battle track at the lap graphic here for the top 10. We'll show you who's running the fastest laps as they cross the stripe for lap number 30. And about a 10th, almost 2/10 faster was Hensley.
Got a bit of a gaggle back here, 4th on back. Massey and Burke both got by the 61 of Stafford, and now Bresci is trying to get by that 61 for the 6th position. Now Massey is starting to pull away from this group here that he has cleared both the 15 and the 61.
Yep, this 15 is on the outside. He has the 61 of Stafford right behind him. Bresci trying to dig hard on the inside and see what he can do. Looks like he may, thought he was going to get more of a run through 1 and 2. Did not get it, was not able to clear the 61, so they will be door-to-door down the back straightaway. Will Bresci power it into 3 on the inside? He will not, but he's going to try to go 2 for 1, nearly 3 wide off of corner number 4.
Bresci's going to clear the 61, slide up in front of him, and now going to try and get by that 15 as he does in 1 and 2. So Bresci now up to the 5th position. So it seems like he's really good on the long run, it seems.
Yeah, he's methodically working his way through the field. And as I was just saying, not making too much progress, but maybe he just saved those tires and just running a pace that is smooth and methodical and into the top 5 in 4th place, not too far in front of him.
It's coming to 16 laps to go in this stage, and Hensley, he's starting to reel in Josh Adams just a little bit, about a 0.5 last time by. Actually, about 300ths last time by.
Yep, that gap was about 1.25 seconds last I was personally paying attention to it, but now it is less than 3/4 of a second, so some serious progress being made of it. And look at them, everyone running the bottom in 3 and 4. That is against, I think, what all of us thought.
Yeah, I'm assuming just that top got so heated up now and so rubbered in, the bottom is just where you need to be.
Yeah, it doesn't look it from a visual standpoint, but I mean, sometimes it doesn't necessarily show up right away, at least with the dynamic track model. So, but maybe it is how the setup works. Maybe it's just better to run right on that bottom of the racetrack, or maybe it saves on tires. We don't know, we're just speculating. But lap number 37 they are working on right now. 16 drivers in the race, 16 drivers still on the lead lap. Simon Thorne's the last one right now. He is in turn number 4, so he has about maybe about a third of a lap before he will be in danger of going down one.
Hensley now got the gap down to under half second, now about 0.3 of a second through 1 and 2. Now we'll see if Hensley can get the run out of 2 and down the back stretch and try and get a little bit closer to him.
Yep, that gap now less than a half a second. You can see Hensley running the second groove and then cutting down low on the exit of corner number 4, and Didn't really do too much for him that time by, so he'll have to kind of reevaluate if he wants to work on his line. Coming off of corner number 2, gap stays about even.
See, Joshua Adams, he got a bit loose entering the 3. I think he locked the rears up just a little bit. They're coming to 11 laps to go on the stage, and Hensley is really starting to close in now.
Yes, he is. He is about 0.3 of a second back. Last time by, he was just under 1/10 of a second faster. So this is going to be a battle for the stage win for that crucial playoff point, which will carry over in a couple weeks' time once the regular season comes to an end. Now only 1/4 of a second. This is going to be a good battle, Evan.
See, out of turn 2 now, looks like the 88, he couldn't quite get the throttle down there. That allowed Hensley to get the run out of 2 and down the back. Now into 3, the 88 has moved off the bottom. Now he's up to the middle lane, and he did not get the run he needed.
No, he did not, and that'll allow the 46 to get right to the back bumper of that number 88, Joshua Adams, who has led every single lap here tonight from the pole, but he's going to have 8 more in stage number 1, and he is not going to have an easy time holding him off. Here comes Hensley running that inside lane off of corner number 4, gets even closer, may have a little bit of a run down the front straightaway, not quite, but he'll fall back in line and be ready to pounce again.
See, through 1 and 2, Adams is really moving his lane up, and that is not working through 1 and 2. Hensley got the run out of 2 and down the back. See, down into 3, Adams going back down to the bottom where he was running a lot better. But Hensley still getting a run through the center of the corner, but Adams got a little bit better of a one off. No, he did not, actually. The 46 is going to take a look to the inside.
Yes, he is. Tyler Hensley to the inside lane here at Iowa. 88's going to try to pinch him down. They're going to be 3 wide off the corner, most likely, as they try to get by Simon Thorns. 88 will get the run off at the corner. 46 will dive it on in there. Nearly contact. He has to back off.
46 started sliding up the track just a little bit there. That allowed the 88 to get the run out of 4 and down the front. Josh Adams pulled away just a little bit there.
Yes, he did, using Simon Thorns to his advantage there. Thorns goes a lap down, but should get the free pass upon the stage in 5 laps. And Tyler Hensley, he made a move there, did not work. He's going to have even fewer laps to try to make that move happen. Shane Tarian is closing in on these guys as well with all this battling. It may be a 3-car battle.
See, down into 1 and 2. Tyler Hensley driving in pretty deep there, and he's going to continue to get that run out of 2. Now down the back, entering turn 3. We'll see where this 46 go. He runs a little bit higher, now cutting down to right in the tire tracks of that 88. And it looks like the 88 still pulling away just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe Hensley overused his stuff. Maybe he just played his deck cards a little bit too early. 88 starting to pull away just by a little bit again, but Shane Tarian in that 38, oh, he got a little bit tight off of corner number 2, had to back off, but he may have something for the 46. You can see he's running that upper lane in 3 and 4.
Three laps to go now in the stage, and Adams continuing to pull away over that 46 of Hensley.
See Hensley moving up the racetrack and is not finding any speed up there as the 2 of Cody Tabor about to go a lap down. That will be the free pass spot. Remember, Simon Thorns has it right now. Cody Tabor will be right in front of it, ready to get that free pass spot. And here comes the Hensley to the inside. He had a little bit of a move. Adams blocked him as they went down to pass Tabor. So this is 2 to go. The white flag will be for the stage this time once they hit the stripe, and Hensley is right to the back bumper again.
Adams once again get a little loose entering 3. That's going to allow the 46 to get a run on entry and through the center, and he's also going to get one off the corner. Coming around for the white flag for the stage, and Hensley's going to take a dive down into 1.
This is your stage right now. 46 goes to the inside. He kind of had a little bit of a look, but not quite. That inside did not work for him. He will lose a couple car lengths, and he will not be within any kind of diving range. So coming through 3 and 4, your stage winner is the number 88, Joshua Adams. Hensley in second, Tarian in third. We will await for the 10th place driver to cross the stripe. That is Casey Shue. He will pass Matthew Bell for that final points position. Actually, who got it at the stripe?
Casey Shue got it.
Casey Shu just by not too much of a gap, but that is the stage caution. These guys will get stacked up behind the pace car, and in top 10 are awarded the points. That will carry over, but the one that gets the playoff point as well, 88, Joshua Adams.
All the field will probably now come down pit road to get 4 fresh tires and a full tank of fuel here.
Yep, so Evan, at this point, we are going to have a give or take about 70 laps to go, about 75 potentially. We talked about fuel. These guys went green this entire opening stage of the race, so if we go green, I think we're going to have an interesting strategy on our hands. But that is a little bit ahead of the game. Talk about that after this set of pit stops. Here they come down pit road. The entire field will come to the attention of their crews. Cody Tabor will be the lucky dog. Simon Thorns will be the only one off of the lead lap at this point. We do have Casey Shu staying on the speedway, presumably to try to get a lap led. He did not get that lap this time by, so if he's going to want that award, he's going to have to come down the following lap, and we'll see who gets the race off pit road. Josh Adams, you can see how little space he has to go, and he will get it. He literally only has to go about 5 feet to get to that cone.
So Hensley going to come out second and Terrian out third.
Yep, so now I'll get back to what I was saying there before pit stops, Evan. What do you think is going to happen if this race goes green, so for these about 75 or so laps that we'll have to run?
Well, it's going to be really close because they might be able to make it on fuel. It's going to be close.
Yeah, there's not going to be much leeway there because remember, 75% fuel load, typically I'd say about 95 laps is about what we'd probably run with a full fuel cell, so let's just take 25% off of that. That would put us probably around 70-75 laps, so it will be a close call indeed as Casey Shu remains on the speedway.
More than likely he'll come down this time after leading his lap.
Right now, after that, drivers out of pit road pretty much came out of pit road in the order that they came in pit road. Joshua Adams, Tyler Hensley, Shane Terry, and Nick Massey, and it'll be Thomas Bressi, your top 5 here. As Shu will come pit road, he did get that lap scored as the leader. See if the pace car gives us one to go. I think we will have at least one more pace lap. But yes, we will have 2 more pace laps, so we're just going to take a very brief break here, and we'll be back with you for the restart. Stay with us.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
And we're back here on BTR TV. Just a little bit of a quick break. Get ourselves ready for stage number 2. Joshua Adams will lead him down. Tyler Hensley to the outside. Shane Terrian and Nick Massey populate road number 2. Evan, get us ready for the second restart.
It's first restart, Corey.
That too.
Coming through 3 and 4 now, waiting for the pace car to pull down on the pit road. And there it goes, now waiting on Josh Radamson. There he goes. He's going to easily clear that 46, and the 46 is not going to have the 38 trying to get by him.
Yes, he will. So the 46 will get sole possession of that spot for the time being. Shane Terry, remember, he closed in at the end of that run there, had a second life after he dropped back. He's going to take a dive on the inside of Hensley. Going to force Hensley to run up on that top groove. 38 will try to work down the bottom of the track. He will manage that run and hold him door to door down the front straightaway.
And down into 1 and 2, 38 Terrian is going to clear. Will the 46 be able to fight back? It does not look like he will be able to.
Nope, so Shane Terrian getting his way through the field here and getting up to the second spot. Does he have anything for the number 88 machine? Time will tell. Chuck Sweeting side by side with the 20. Dylan Pileski also has Brian LaPrade, Matthew Bell. LaPrade, we saw I think he was in the top 5 earlier, dropped back, but he is battling with Sweeting right now. And right ahead of this, Bressie and Burke for the 5th spot.
Yeah, Bressie up there in 5th, or now in 6th. Burke just got by him, but Bressie's going to try and do the crossover down the front stretch. We'll see down into turn 1 and 2 if Bressie can get by him. Does not look like he'll be able to. 15's going to hold on in 5th.
Yes, he will. For the time being, we'll see if Bressie can come back later in the run. We saw him succeed heavily on those older tires in the last stint. See if that happens again here tonight, but behind this, looks like they have singled themselves out position-wise. We have Bronson Staff. Remember, he's been having connection problems tonight. He is underneath Robert Kenny in the number 10 machine, 11 of Alex Weaver. Then we have Casey Shue behind this. Here comes Weaver trying to take a look there. 3 wide, nearly through corner number 4.
We'll see if Kenny is he going to try and get by that 61. He's going to stay in line for now, because he still has Weaver down underneath him, and Weaver once again trying to get under Stafford. Stafford not going to be able to shut the door that time. We'll see down into 3 and 4 if that 11 can make that bottom lane work. And he's going to try to contact there. 11 got a bit loose.
He got loose, but he held on to it, which is ultimately what matters. So still running side by side, not missing anything up front at the moment. They are in the same formation. Nearly some contact off corner number 2 between the 11 and the 61, still side by side. Entering number 3 and 4. Stafford looks like he'll have the run from the top.
Stafford will clear down the front stretch, but will the 11 try and take a dive? He's going to try to, but not going to be able to get underneath him through 1 and 2.
And this, Evan, how is this for their tires right now? Are these guys killing their tires with all this side-by-side racing?
Yeah, they most definitely are, especially Weaver running down that bottom lane. He has to put a lot more wheel into it whenever he has that 61 on his outside, which that's going to hurt the right front and the right rear.
Yeah, so he's going to really have to cool those tires off, or he's just going to be burning them off further. Here comes Casey Shue in the number 4 machine, closing up to the back bumper of Weaver, who dives it into 3. Got to the back bumper of the 61. Here he comes with the hard cut to the inside off corner number 4. He'll pull alongside yet again. He's done it many a time, so will he be able to change that result and make this pass?
We'll see down into 1 and 2. Does not look like he's going to be able to. The 61 is not going to clear, but he is going, or actually he will clear, it looks like. 11 loose down into 3.
Here comes Casey Shue underneath him. That is for the 12 spot. Weaver will drop back further. Robert Kenny going to the outside of him, entering corner number 1 all the way up in that 3rd groove. But look at that 10 almost. He has some bite up there in that top groove, but not enough. And no, Weaver won't be able to shut the door. Here he comes in at corner number 3. These guys battling as if this is for the win here tonight at Iowa.
See, Weaver's still not going to be able to clear that 10. It's going to be close, though.
Yeah,
and Weaver's going to clear him now into 1 and 2. So Weaver now up to the 13th position.
A little bit further up front, 48 of Massey has closed in on the back bumper of Tyler Hensley. That is going to be a battle for the 3rd position here. These guys have fallen back about 1 1/4 seconds behind your leader. Massey running a little bit lower through 1 and 2. That you could see him get some momentum built up and close in on the back bumper down the back straightaway.
See through 3 and 4 now. The 48 running a little bit higher than Kent, just a little bit lower than that 46, but Hensley's still got the better run out of 4 and down the front.
Yes, he does. So it seems that they're better on different ends of the track. It definitely looks like Massey has a beat here in 1 and 2. Look how much time he gains, but through 3 and 4, I think Hensley has something figured out. You can see they're now moving to the top of the racetrack. There's really, it seems there's no consistency, Evan, of where they're running. They're just sometimes around the bottom, sometimes the middle, sometimes up top. It just really seems to just depend on maybe just what's working at that particular time.
Yeah, when they started moving down to the bottom, that heated the bottom up and allowed the top to cool off. So now they're back up at the top running there. And we'll see if maybe if they come back down to the bottom once it cools down.
Then as the tires wear and the handling goes away on these machines, that'll add another factor into where they decide to run. But both of these drivers right to the back bumper of Shane Terry, and this is going to be for second spot. Bradley Burke just knocking on the back door of these guys, which will potentially make it a 4-car battle. But Shane Terrian is 7/10 of a second behind your leader Josh Adams. So these guys are starting to drop back.
Yeah, Terrian once again falling off around the 20 lap in the run mark. It's now Hensley is trying to get underneath him out of 2. But Terrian is going to get the run down the back and is going to be able to hold on to that spot for now.
Yes, he will. And as you said, Evan, about 20 laps into this run, and obviously laps are ticking away here, and 60 to go this time by, Evan. That would make it about an 80-lap run to the finish, and I just definitely assume that that is not going to be an option here for these drivers. So do you maybe just go for a splash of gas at the end, or do you think that you may want to split this 40 and 40, because it does seem like this is going to go green?
Well, we'll find out in about 20 laps probably what they do.
I see you don't have any kind of driver intake on that, huh?
I have no idea what they're going to do.
So it makes it more interesting for us, because we all know how well we are at guessing strategies and following along. So that'll give us something to try to figure out here, and we'll see what happens. But here comes Massey to the top of the racetrack at 3 and 4, trying to get that momentum on the 46 down the front straightaway. He definitely closes in on the back of Hensley, but he hasn't been getting through 1 and 2 as well as the 46. He went for a really high-low approach there, trying to cut off corner number 2. It got him pretty close, but not closer than he was prior.
But these leaders, they're starting to close in on Joshua Adams just a little bit up there. Now down to a little bit under 6/10 of a second between Adams and Terrian.
Yeah, it was closer to a second, but as you said, Evan, it is starting to work its way back on the other side of the spectrum, getting a little bit closer here, which is surprising with these guys battling. They're still pulling off good lap times.
Yeah, see, second on back is starting to come down to the bottom through 3 and 4 as Hensley tried to get underneath Terrian there, but was not able to. See here through 1 and 2 now what he can do.
Yes, he's right to the back bumper. Oh, nearly into the fence. Was 2 of them there. It was the 46 and the 48 with bobbles there off the corner. Bradley Burke has caught them to the inside of the racetrack at 3 and 4. He's inside of Nick Massey, but no grip down there. Not enough momentum for him. He'll lose that momentum and lose that spot that he was trying to gain, so he will stay back into the 5th spot. And look who's right behind this. Thomas Bressie closing in on this battle. 48 with a power dive in there into turn number 3. He's going to try to clear 2 of them. He couldn't quite get by Terry, and he will not be able to get back up the track to clear Han Hensley. Seeing if he can maybe clear that spot in 1 and 2. It does appear he will be able to clear the 46. Needs to cut the door off right there. He does just that.
But Hensley's going to try and fight back into 3 and 4 now. Down there on the bottom, 48 getting checked up from the 38. But out of 4, it looks like the 48's going to hang on to that spot over Hensley.
Hard racing here at Iowa Speedway as we approach 50 laps to go. Bradley Burke trying to close back in. He is right to the back bumper again of Hensley. We do have Thomas Bressie and Brian LaPratte closing in on this. All the while, these guys are starting to inch their way closer towards the lead as Massey with the power move on the inside in 3 and 4. Almost was able to clear for that, but the outside momentum went to the 38. Still side by side for P2.
It seems like Terrian is really holding up third on back. These guys need to try and get by him. They're trying to get by him, but they haven't been able to yet. We'll see here through 3 and 4 if he can get a run. Massey got a pretty good run through the corner. Pretty even down the straight, down into 1 and 2 now. We'll see if Massey can take a look to his outside. He's going to try and get there. Out of 2, not going to be able to get to his quarter panel.
Yes, not quite, but here he comes with another dive on into corner number 3. 48 will get down there. I don't think he's going to be able to clear. No, he will not. They will be door to door. See if he can keep some momentum built up to remain side by side. They go off into corner number 1. 38 all the way to the top in the third groove. This will be the opportunity. 48 will try to shut the door. He left it open for him. Terrian has some life.
Yeah, I think Terrian had too much of a run for the 48 to be able to get up there and shut the door, but we'll see through 3 and 4. Terrian's going to go for the crossover as the 48 slides up the track.
Yes, he did. Now the 48 up on the outside of the track. He may actually prefer that, but the 38 of Terrian will clear for the spot coming off of the corner. Terrian not afraid to shut the door, but the 48's going to squeeze open a lane there up top. Keep that momentum built up on the top of the racetrack. 46 to the inside, trying to get underneath Massey. Massey has the run on the outside of Terrian with the crossover to the inside.
Really good racing in second on back right now, and with all this battling, they're still closing in on the leader. It's down to under half a second now as the 48 still not able to shut the door on Terrian.
I think he was able to shut the door. I think he's erring on the side of caution right now because he's had them clear a couple times, but he's just a little, like right there, for example, he had the door shut. He left it open, leaving the lane and the opportunity for Terrian.
We'll see through 1 and 2 if he can finally shut the door
He's
on
clear
him.
right
He's going
now.
to do
He's
it.
clear.
He's going to shut the door.
Finally.
There he goes. Now Terrian with the crossover once again, trying to get almost underneath Adams
and
there.
Look who's right in front of these guys. This is going to be a battle for the lead.
And Hensley and Bresci on pit road.
This is what we talked about. We're about 35 laps into the run. It's about 45 laps to go at this point. So these guys know they can't make it. They're going to pit now. Let's see what happens with these guys up front. We know the tire difference, about 2 seconds a lap. These guys are slower about at this point so far. But here we come, taking lap number 89. Adams up by about 0.3 of a second. Massey in sole possession of second. Shane Terrian in third. Bradley Burke and Brian LaPrade your top 5.
So are these drivers going to come down pit road now, or are they going to wait until split it up 40 and 40?
Well, we've seen, Evan, that we've seen a couple times where drivers will pit about 5 or 6 laps later, and they will catch those drivers who pitted early. So these guys up front, they're going to have, in my opinion, about 5 laps to make up their move. If they don't pit within that 5 laps, I think they're just going for a splash of gas at the end, because if they pit too late, they're not going to give themselves enough time to make those fresher tires work.
I would probably pit here in about 2 or 3 laps with about 40 laps to go. I think that'd be the best move. Just kind of split it up.
Yeah, like I said, that's still within about that 5 lap gap of when the other drivers have pitted, so they still will have fresh tires and they'll have enough life on them to finish the race out, but they'll have just that extra bit of speed compared to the guys who pitted earlier as Alex Weaver to pit lane. But it is a short track, so they are going to lose at least a lap on pit lane, so they have to realize that they're going to have to motor themselves around this speedway. So they got to give themselves time to use those fresh tires, and they stay out another lap. I'm starting to get concerned right now.
This lap is when I would come to pit road. We'll see if anyone else decides to do that.
This is 40 to go, coming to lap number 39. Well, lap number 39 to go, rather, if I can enunciate that properly. And they choose to stay on the racetrack. Now,
so this is going to be interesting what their strategy is going to be now.
It's I don't see a splash and go working with the tire wear as bad as it is, about 1.5 seconds a lap, maybe 2 seconds in some extreme circumstances at the 48 with a dive to the inside, battle for the lead. Lap number 94, here we come to take lap number 95, door to door. Who gets it at the stripe? I think Adams yes, he still did get the advantage at the stripe, but still the 48 side by side.
See, out of turn number 2, the 48 had the run and now has the advantage down the back. We'll see down into turn 3 and 4. 48's going to clear for the lead. Is he going to shut the door? Yes,
Terry
he
in the pit
will.
lane. Shane Terrian, sole driver on pit lane on lap number 95. Evan, we are about 6 to 7 laps into the run since the Bressie and Hensley came to pit road. So that's really starting to put a differential there, and laps ticking away. And here they now come. Here comes Massey. Here comes LaPrade.
And Adams also coming pit road.
Yes. Now, the $1 million question is what kind of gap, particularly Hensley, because he was the furthest up there, what kind of gap is he going to have on these drivers when it all cycles through?
Well, Hensley's coming out of turn 2 right now.
Shane Terrian just exiting the pits right here. So Shane Terrian on the back straightaway right now.
Hensley out of 4.
It's half a lap and 35 laps to do it. We'll see here.
There's a chance.
What is, and we've seen this in many a race, Evan. I think almost every race we've called recently has pretty much turned out this way. We have to check what is the lap difference in speeds between the two drivers, and we have to do the math, but we also have to realize the closing rate is going to deteriorate as the run progresses and the tires age overall. So this time by, Tyler Hensley ran a 22.4. We have Nick Massey, who ran well, that lap's not going to count, so we have to wait for him to cross the stripe.
Terrian ran a 22.0. So only 4/10 quicker.
Yep.
And he's about 8 seconds off of Hensley.
And as they cross the stripe, a 22.5 to a 22.1. And what did we say that interval was? It was about... Evan, you just said it. What was it?
8 seconds from Terrian to Hensley.
8 seconds at 0.4 of a second a lap. I'm not a mathematician by any stretch, but I don't like that, especially as the tires progress and they further age and the speeds slow down and the lap difference will minimize. I don't think this is going to work.
Well, we'll find out.
But as I said, I've been wrong, and I usually am, so we will see right now. Shane Terrian is 7.6 seconds back. He was 0.4 off of the pace last time by. Nick Massey right behind him. Massey arguably the faster driver at this point in the run. Massey 8 seconds back, but this last time by, only 1/10 of a second slower was Hensley in relation to Shane Terrian.
Yeah, I really don't think he's going to get there. It's only about 30 laps to go. 31 laps to go, coming to 30.
I mean, we say this every week, and we'll continue to say it because it always happens. We can never rule out a caution flag. We've seen how many races have gone this exact way. You just can't see a caution happening at all. And
yeah, there's been no cautions besides the stage in this race so far.
yeah, and we've seen cautions come out of nowhere before, and this would be a certain situation where it would come out of nowhere. I can't really expect it, but the gap now 6 seconds. Last time by, it was about another 2.5 difference. Actually, last time by, it was quite drastic. About a half second faster was Terrian, so if he can keep that pace up, he should get there, but I don't know if he can keep that kind of pace up, or if Hensley is going to continue having poor laps like that. 22.8 for Hensley. Here comes Terrian with Massey.
22.6.
So that right there isn't going to do anything. But I think this is a good opportunity to give you a little bit of a through the field here as this race is in its waning stages. Tyler Hensley up front right now. by about 2 seconds over Bressie. Bressie in second position. Shane Tarian running in third. Nick Massey running in fourth. Josh Adams running in fifth. Matthew Bell in sixth. Brian LaPratte in seventh. Bradley Burke in eighth. Chuck Sweeting running in ninth. And then Dylan Pileski rounding out the top 10. Last cars on the track are Casey Shue in 11th. Robert Kenny in 12th. Alex Weaver in 13th. 1 lap off of the pace. And Cody Tabor in 14th. He is in the pits right now. Bronson Stafford and Simon Thorns have retired in 15th and 16th respectively.
See, Tarian has the gap down now to about 5 seconds. And Nick Massey is closing in on Tarian, so Massey might be the one to get there.
Into the fence nearly was the 38, if indeed he wasn't. He was very close to it. So that battle will shape up right here. Joshua Adams, who started this race on the pole and dominated the first stage of the race, maybe he just kind of lost the edge on this car as the track maybe wore in as the race progressed, but still a good run nonetheless for him, running in the 5th spot. But another 2/10 faster was Terry, and the gap now a little over 4 seconds, so he is definitely gaining, but only 23 laps to go. I don't see it happening, but well, I hope it does, just for the sake of entertainment. I hope it does. I just don't think it will.
He might be able to catch up to him. It's about 4 seconds now.
Last time by, it does seem at this point that Hensley is running very inconsistent times. He just ran in the 23s. Actually, I think the times are just starting to fall off at this point in the race, but Shane Tarian was about 2/10 faster, and Tarian will have to get through Thomas Bressie to get to Hensley, so depending what kind of battle the 24 can put up, the 24 may be Hensley's best friend.
About an 8-lap difference on Tarian's tires versus Hensley and Bressie's. And then Massey has 1 lap fresher tires than Tarian.
So if they are not able to get there, I think they're just going to be kicking themselves on maybe pitting 2 laps sooner. But the more that this progresses, I think I might be eating my words. I do think 3.5 seconds, it just doesn't seem like they should. That he's only consistently 2 to 3 tenths faster, but I mean, I guess if you do that math enough, it does equal out that we may be in a potential lead battle situation at this rate. Probably about 5 to go.
See now 3.1 seconds.
Tyler Hensley, he is 8th in the standings at this point in the season, and he has not been to victory lane, so this is potentially going to be his first win, but not writing it to him at all. Now the gap is only 2.5 seconds. Two and a half seconds is definitely something that he can attain at this point. It was 8 seconds earlier when this run started, which seemed like a Herculean feat, but 8 seconds now down to 2.5. 18 now coming to 17 laps to go. Again, we'll pull up the battle tracker here and just follow what is going on. A 23.16 to a 23.19. He had, well, that is compared to Thomas Bressie, though.
Yeah. Tarian ran at 22.94.
So that's another 2 tenths, but here this is going to be the battle for second place as they try to get by Thomas Bressie. What kind of battle is that 24 able to put up? We know he's not going to roll over and play dead, but can he hold up them at all? As here comes Massey to the inside trying to battle with Tarian as they both try to battle with Bressie.
Tarian got to the outside of Bressie, just barely was there a gap, but he made it work. He's going to clear that 24, maybe not quite. 24 put up a 5, but now the 38 will clear him. Now the 48 going to try and get by him.
Yeah, that's not what Bressie wanted to do. I don't think he was expecting the 38 to shove the door open on the outside there. He was probably hoping to pinch him down on the inside for as long as he could, but that attempt was not able to happen, and We are going to have 14 laps to go and clear track in between the top two.
2.2 seconds now is the gap between Terrien and Hensley. And I think Massey is a little bit quicker than Terrien, but just cannot get by him right now.
Yeah, he's going to maybe hope that they do get to Hensley and that there can be a battle, and maybe he can take that opportunity to maybe make his pass while using the 46 as a pick, because I don't think he's going to have it straight speed at this point. And having last time by, it was only about a 1/10 and a half quicker for the 38, and at this point in the race, he's going to need to make consistent 2 to 3/10 a lap charges to eat this gap alive.
Let's see, this time it looks like it's going to be about 3/10 quicker.
So he listened to me. He did exactly what he needed to do. Because he's going to need to get there, and then, I mean, realistically, I would want at least 2 or 3 laps, at least, to be able to work on a move and plan out where I'm going to have to make the run. And actually, at this point, he may not even need that, because he is really motoring around this racetrack right now on these 8-lap fresher tires. 2.5 tenths last time, but all the way down to a 1.5 seconds. Now, if you're Hensley right now, do you want this to go green, or do you want a caution right now?
Honestly, I think you want it to go green. Just because Terrien's going to get up to him, that doesn't mean he's going to be able to get by him.
Terrien is not somebody, we've watched him many a times. He is not someone just to go out there and 8 wheels is better than 4 and door his way by. He is someone that is going to race you and try to run as clean as possible. So I do expect a nice genuine battle if/when he does get there. So, but at the same time, he has to be just sweating in the seat there in that 46, just trying to run as smooth as he can, knowing that he is at a disadvantage, just trying to run clean laps and finish this race out.
The good thing for Hensley is there's 2 lap cars in between him and Terrien. But the bad thing for Hensley is the gap is now 0.8 of a second.
Yep, but the good thing is also that there are less than 10 laps to go. The iRacing cutoff lap is typically about 5 to go, so if anything does happen at that point on, race will end by default, but there's a very good chance this is going to finish green and we're going to have a hectic battle. Nick Massey has lost connection with the 38, so he will not most likely have the opportunity to get to second, so it's going to be a battle between the 46 and the 38. We're coming to 6 laps to go. The gap is just over a half second.
And Weaver, he has stayed with Hensley for pretty much all of this run, so that might be kind of hard for Terrien to get by him.
But does Weaver, I mean, does he play the gentleman card and back off and let these guys battle it? I mean, that would be the gentleman thing to do, but he does have a right to choose to do what he would like to do, whether that is to stay in between them and battle. He is 1 lap down, and he's in a position to get the free pass, which is, as of that lap, the free pass means nothing because we will not have a restart from this point on. Gap is 0.6 of a second. Last time by, only about a 1/2 tenth difference.
Caution.
That's the race. Joshua Adams in turn number 2, backwards on the racetrack. Let's go back on replay. That's a disappointment. I really want to see that one play out, but let's see what happened. 15 of Bradley Burke. Looks like he just washed up the track there and won during the side-by-side endeavor. Yeah, he did not run the bottom. He ran the second lane there, and he had a driver to his outside and slow, methodical spin for the 88, but that will most certainly end this race under caution. A deep sigh of relief for the 46 because he is not going to have to endure that battle that he was due for. Because we are coming to 3 laps to go. Pits were open that time by. I mean, there's no mathematics allowed on the table that will get this race restarted. They would have had to got 2 to go this time by, which is not possible with lap down cars. So Hensley pulled it off. I mean, he did what he had to do. And
honestly, Terrian, he sort of just slowed down a little bit there. So I do not know if he would have been even able to get to his back bumper. They kind of equalized a little bit there once he got within about a second.
Especially, it was going to be a matter to see with what Weaver did, how much of a battle he wanted to put up. But I mean, at that point, I would have expected him to back off. He still was adamant. I wonder if there was a deal worked out between him and Hensley to try to see what he can do to make his opportunity to win that much easier, if you will.
Two laps to go now for Hensley.
So again, this will be his first win of the season for Tyler Hensley. Back 8th in the points now. He is 57 off of the lead. He's had 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s in this season. So first trip to victory lane. Shane Terrian has won 4. Bryla Pratt 1. Ryan Hartz has won 1. And then Jacob Adams has won a race as well. Adams has only been part-time in this series this season, but here we come for the white flag lap here at the Iowa Speedway under pacing conditions.
So as long as he has enough fuel to go another 4 corners here, he'll be the winner.
Yep, he had the strategy call. He pitted earlier. We knew we weren't going to be able to run this race from stage 1 to the end on 1 set of tires and 1 fuel load, so he pitted a couple laps earlier than much of the competition. He used that to his advantage, had an 8-second gap with about 40 laps to go, or actually about 35 laps to go it was. He had an 8-second gap over Shane Terrian and company, and we thought it was going to be a walk in the park, or at least I did, but that was not the case. Shane Terrian was a hungry man. He was chomping at that gap, got it down to a ½ second, but a late race caution will conclude this race behind the pace car, and that killed the battle we were about to have, and it gave the victory without contest to Tyler Hensley. He wins tonight here at Iowa.
And Shane Terrian coming home 2nd and Nick Massey in 3rd.
So we will allow these drivers an opportunity to get themselves out of the car and settle down. So let's just go over, while that happens, we'll go over the final results here tonight from the Iowa Speedway. With the victory here tonight from Iowa, Tyler Hensley leading 34 laps, Shane Terrian in 2nd, Nick Massey in 3rd, Bryla Pratt in 4th, Thomas Bressie in 5th, then Bradley Burke, Matthew Bell, Chuck Sweeting, Dylan Pulaski, and Robert Kenny, the top 10.
Joshua Adams coming home in 11th, Alex Weaver in 12th, Casey Shue in 13th, Cody Tabor in 14th, Bronson Stafford in 15th, and Simon Thorns ran out the field in 16th.
All right, so that is the final results here, and we will start the post-race show here tonight. We'll get you the top 3 finishers here tonight, and I do think Evan Black has 3rd place, Nick Massey.
So Nick, you come on with a 3rd place finish here tonight at Iowa. What are your thoughts after this race?
Happy to come home with a 3rd place finish. Iowa's, definitely not my best track, but I think after that stage end, I kind of was figuring out, the correct line to run and whatnot from watching the guys up front. So, kind of hate seeing that caution come out at the end there, because I think me and Shane might have had something for Tyler. I don't know. Might have ran out of time, but I think we waited a little too long to pit there at the end to run him down. But definitely the most fun I've had at Iowa in a while.
Did you have much pit strategy coming into this race, or did it just kind of happen on the fly?
No, it just kind of happened on the fly. Me, Shane, and Josh there were racing after that stage, and I honestly wasn't even paying attention to fuel or whatnot. Shane had to remind me because I was having a lot of fun there battling them. But yeah, and I didn't realize Tyler had pitted prior to that, so kind of wish I did. I might have pitted a little earlier and had a shot at it, but yeah, just kind of all on the fly.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my teammates, Josh, Shane, in here, and thank to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Hopefully, it was enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah, it was pretty good up here in the booth. Once again, congrats on your 3rd place finish, and thanks for talking with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too. And now Corey has caught up with 2nd place finisher Shane Tarian.
All right, Shane, a 2nd place finish, and I mean, you must be, I don't know, punching your steering wheel right now. You were 6/10 back with a faster car and 5 laps to make a move. What were your thoughts at that last run and ultimately when that caution came out?
Man, I don't know. I didn't even think I was going to catch him because the tires evened out at like 23.8 second laps, I think, close to 24s. But, and I hate finishing 2nd here. It's my best track. I've won here so many times. It's just to lose here due to a caution kind of hurts. I gotta give it to Tyler and Nick, and they put on a show. We put on a show tonight with these guys in the Iowa. You don't usually see a lot of passing here, so it was really fun. So at least I can take that.
Yeah, we were surprised here in the booth. We know here from the trucks and Xfinity that usually you guys are right around the top, especially in 3 and 4, but it seemed to be something on the bottom there. What was the car feeling like, especially running the bottom in 3 and 4?
Yeah, that was because it wasn't loose. So our tire wear was in the 90s still for the rear tires after like 50 laps. So you could just brake it hard and get that thing to stick. It's just a matter if you hit the wall or not coming off the corner. So the inside line was working. I think mid run, and then you have to move up as you go after like 30 laps. But yeah, it was a great Iowa. Great Iowa. It was last build setup working on this build, so it worked out. I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, so that was good for you. Ultimately, you didn't have the opportunity to see if you could make that last lap move, but still a 2nd, nothing to complain about. So who do you want to give your shout-outs to, man?
I'm going to give a shout out to Tyler for winning. He's been struggling in this Cup car for a while, last couple seasons, so it's good to see him fast tonight. Shout out to you guys for the broadcasting again. I know we're going to lose you at the end of the season. And Cody for the league, my teammates, Josh and Nick, and my sponsor, Yield Control.
All right. Thanks again for talking to us, Shane, and congrats on the 2nd, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week at, where are we going to be, at Charlotte.
Thank you.
So now Evan has caught up with the winner tonight, Tyler Hensley, in the 46.
Tyler, you came in with the win here tonight at Iowa. What are your thoughts after tonight's race?
Oh, I'm super excited. To be honest with you, I didn't really feel much like racing tonight because I've gone on vacation, so I've got to drive all night. But I'm glad I showed up because that was a lot of fun, heck of a lot of fun. Most fun I've had in the Cup car anyway.
Yeah, you've had a kind of a rough start to the season. Do you feel like you're kind of peaking at the right time as we're getting a little bit closer to the playoffs now?
I think so, and that's, honestly, that's always kind of been my style. I usually have just a very bad start to the year. Usually about the middle of the season is when I really start to make gains. And then towards the end, I'm like, everybody's ready for an off season. I'm like, I'm ready to keep going.
Yeah, you're definitely starting to run better these past few weeks. There, before that caution came out, did you think Tarian was going to catch up to you and get by you, or did you think you were going to be able to hold him off?
I didn't. It's so hard to say, honestly. It's really hard to say. I can tell you I wasn't going to let him by. I can tell you that much.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out to?
Yeah, I'd just like to shout out to Thomas and Casey. Casey was very courteous there and gave me the lane that I wanted. And I know Thomas, he probably didn't have the tires to do it at the time, but he did everything he could to help me out. So again, just thanks to those guys. Thanks to you guys for being here tonight and helping us put on a show.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for talking with us, and once again, congrats on your win here tonight at Iowa.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, so that is the final rundown of the the post-race interviews, rather. So that is the top 3 finishers. So let's wrap up coverage here tonight from Iowa with our final sponsor shout-outs here on PTR TV. We want to give a shout-out to everyone that does help with PTR TV. Obviously, our live broadcasting coming to an end at the end of the Hardline Racing campaign, and our Mondays and Tuesdays will be finished out on LSR TV. So, of course, want to thank Evan Black, Brandon Krutz, Michael DeGroat, Cole Borgstedt, Joe, Chris, and everyone who has helped us out here over the course of the duration on the channel. Couldn't be anywhere without them or our sponsors, Air Movement Fabrications, Krutz Custom Graphics, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, iBog.co. We didn't use them tonight, but TrackCams 4 Gourmet is always a good source for the cameras. You can check them out there if you do like what we used to show here with the camera views. So signing out of the booth here tonight for the Hardline Racing League Midwest Power Source Cup Series at Iowa, Tyler Hensley with the victory. Signing out is Corey Silva and Evan Black. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night, and we'll see you Monday.